Hello again, back on it. I think it's daily this. We've got, what day are we? Sunday now, Sunday afternoon. So scrutineering's on Wednesday. So I think I've got to get my tools sorted out that go in the boot, and I'll just go through what I'm getting there, just the basics. So I've had a few problems on stage before, throttle cable snapping and bits and pieces, fan not working, so it's nice to have a little set of crimps and a few ends, spare throttle cable, spark plugs, because it does have a tendency to oil up. But I thought I'd like to show you my new favourite tool, tyre inflator. I've just pumped up the rears, just put them up a couple of psi, and so easy, it takes a couple of seconds. And the battery is off my battery drill, my small Bosch battery drill. So, oops, I might get another one of those. Yeah, very handy. Before I was either having to borrow one or pump all the tyres up more than I needed and then let them down when I got to the service area, or doing bicycle pump, which was a pain. So yeah, I think this is really good there. Amazon, 50 quid or whatever. Need to get some fuel, I might do that today. I was going to take it for a drive, but it's pouring with rain and I've got slicks on. It's not a problem for the car, but if you were to get stopped by the police, they're probably not appropriate tyres. Well, they're remarked now, so they probably are okay. So I think the car's about done. I might even take the door off and have a look at bending the wing back, because I know it's an awful job, the wing. It looks all right. You know, it doesn't stick out. If you know it's there, you're going to notice it, but the crease with the door and the wing, that really does stick out. So I might have because just about everything else is done, I might spend a half an hour on that and see if we can get that a little bit straighter. So yeah, we'll solder on. I've got 3 of these stopwatches. I thought I'd put one in the car and we can have one each, just so we know what time it is all the time. I've set them all up to the same time just to check they all keep the same time. And they're on iPhone time, so yeah, that should be usually what the rally time is. But this one beeps every hour, and I'm going to try and work out how to turn it off, because that will do made in. And this is the one we keep in the car. It won't matter so much then. It's just, I hate it when they beep. Well, that was easy. You just press those 2 buttons at the same time, and a little symbol goes off, so I'll keep it in my pocket. Make sure we're not getting any beeps every hour. Right, I've come up with an idea. I've got a bit of box section here, which, if I can open the door as far as it will go. Right, now if I get my 3mm steel, I'll put some tape on the back of it. If I slide that between the door and this thing, and then try closing the door, because it's got the strength of the hinge there, I can't do it with one hand, so and that should bend this out. And once it starts bending out, I should be able to get further up. So I'll give that a go. Right, well, I made a little bar. Well, this is the adapter. This is what bent eventually, but I managed to get it through in between the door and the wing, and I could start bending it straight. But it's just it's solid air, because it's like the skin's bent back on itself. So if I'd known how easy it was to get the door off, 4 bolts and a pin to hold the door stop on. So now at least I can get to it, make it look a bit better. Right, this is working a lot easier and better than I thought it would. Just a case of taking your time, moving it around slowly, bending it a little bit here and there. I mean, it's gonna need a bit of filler on it, but we can get most of that out. Oops, yeah. So I'll just keep going, get what I can, skim of filler down the edge, paint, do the door on the same. Well, that's a bit straighter. I'm struggling here because of the double skin. It looks like the whole of the wing has come out a bit. So I've tried banging it in a bit, because this was further out than the door was. I need to get the door back on now. I've done a bit of straightening on the door. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's much better than it was. I can't believe how easy this has been. Right, so I'm going to stick the door on, and if that's where it needs to be, I might just have to build a bit out here with filler. Just so it matches in with the mint job that I've done on the wing. Do you know what? It's not that bad. If I'd spent another half an hour on it, it'd still be bad. Wait, stop. Right. Yeah, getting the door off was quite easy. Getting it back on again isn't so much. You've got the two bolts at the end of the door go through these square holes, and they've got a plate on the back with two nuts on. And there's a lot of adjustment, up, down, forward, back. And it caught the door again, because I opened the door and I couldn't get it. No, I closed the door and I couldn't get it open. When I did, it pulled all this back in. So I've been a bit brutal with this. I've given it a good hit with a hammer. I've had to get the adjustable spanner on, so I've sort of dented it around here, but I can sort that out later if I have the urge. I just want to get the door back on now. I think all this is slightly that way. You can see here, there's nothing. I presume this would have had a weld on it or something, or sealed, or I don't know, but it just seems to be a bit loose, so you can actually move it backwards and forwards, which might be beneficial, because I can, if it's the doors sticking in a lot more, I can always push that back in a bit. Right, getting the door on isn't that difficult. Lining it up is a nightmare, because you try moving it a couple of mil and it just goes 10 mil, and if you get it wrong, you can't open the door again. So I've got some guides just to work from. Trial and error. Let's get it on. Right, that's about as best as I can get it. So what I've done now is I've done it so that's where it used to shut. A bit of a firmer slam. It's not too bad. The only adjustment you can't have at the front is get the door in and out that way and back, so you can get it forward and back. So at the moment we're just missing. So I could fill this and clean that up a bit. The door's a bit. Where'd you stop? That's better than it was. I'll leave it like that for now. If I've got time, I'll fiddle about that a bit more. Right, this is a bit of 1 mil steel. It's a bit of a roof from an E36. So I'm going to cut a strip off here and bend it, and then that'll do for the footrest. Right, that's it, just temporarily put into place. So I've got plenty of room for my foot, and that's with my wide steel toe caps on, and somewhere to rest my foot. I hate hovering. So it's just a quick throw. Plus also, I won't be using the clutch a lot, only when I'm slowing down and starting off. So it'll be resting a lot more of the time than it would be normally. Right, that throttle pedal's still too high. I could do it lowering that, but I think the problem is it's hitting the bulkhead, and I've got to check we're getting full throttle. I think that'll be my next job. Right, because I'm on my own, I've wedged a bit of timber, 2 bits of timber, and that 3 mil bit of steel is coming in well handy. I've been using that loads recently. So I'll just check, see if I've got the full throttle that I need. Yeah, that's definitely full throttle there. In fact, I'm going to check it's not too full, because I don't want to be straining on the one throttle cable's really tight. We've got a bit of slack in it. They've got no adjustment left here. Right, let's have a look into it. Right, I've taken the 3mm steel out of the throttle, the timber pushing the throttle pedal down, and we're still on full throttle, so we need to go a bit lower yet. Right, I've adjusted it now, so there's a tiny little bit of play in the throttle, and we're a bit off there. So you can see where it's hitting. What I'm thinking of doing is putting a nut and bolt there, sticking out, so that'll be where the throttle stops. And that way you can adjust it to where you want. Right, that's the M8 bolt with 2 nuts and 2 washers on. So it hits the back of the... It's a solid stop there. It's not hitting a bit of the bulkhead that could move or... so that is full throttle. And I can adjust it if I need to. The bolt is just long enough to... so it's not sticking out the other side. So I've got a bit of adjustment, but I can always put a longer bolt in if I needed to, but I don't think I'd have to change it that much. Yeah, I've just taken her out for a quick test drive with Goretti as the in navigator seat because she hasn't sat in the car yet, and that is the first time I've actually driven it in the dark. So spotlights work well. I've noticed the water temp light isn't working, so I don't know what water temp is, so I need to get that sorted out. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty good. Got scrutineering tomorrow night, and not tomorrow night, the night after tomorrow. So just about done. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.